Hello everyone, welcome. Today we're going to learn about the top 15 careers in tech. This video is great for you if you're transitioning within tech and want to understand what kind of options there are here. And if you already have a stable career in tech but are looking to find another career within this domain, then this is also a great video for you to understand the need of the market right now. So let's get started. Number 1, artificial intelligence engineer, also known as an AI engineer. An AI engineer is a software engineer who builds tools and systems using various artificial intelligence techniques with the goal of increasing the efficiency of systems and making better use of data to drive business decision making. So what do they actually do? They basically design, develop, and deploy AI systems. They optimize system performance and enable the scalability of AI applications. They deploy and implement Python or R-based APIs. They also evaluate and benchmark machine learning solutions to integrate them into existing systems. So, what kind of skills does the AI engineer need to have? Programming languages, very important. They need to know at least Python, C number, or C++, Java. One of these, definitely. They also need to have good understanding of frameworks like TensorFlow. They also need to have an ability to build deep learning algorithms using networks. Also, they need to understand cloud platforms, at least one of them, either Google Cloud, Amazon, or Microsoft Cloud. And they also need to understand software development, Agile, Scrum, as well as basic understanding of data science and big data. Number 2, cybersecurity engineer. A cybersecurity engineer plays a key role in protecting the organization's valuable data by protecting the computer networks from cyber attacks and unauthorized access. So what does a cybersecurity engineer actually do? They defend computer network against cyber threats. They plan, implement, manage, monitor, and upgrade security measures for the protection of the organization's data system and networks. They also ensure that the organization's data and infrastructure are protected by enabling the correct security controls. Furthermore, they monitor network traffic for security incidents and events. They also install and operate firewalls and encryption programs and other security software. They also develop and promote best practices for information securities. What skills does a cybersecurity engineer have? They have an excellent understanding of technology infrastructures using firewalls, VPN, data loss protection, IDS, IPS, web proxy, and security audits. They also understand really well coding practices, ethical hacking, and threat modeling. They also understand basic programming languages like Python, JavaScript, Ruby. They also understand firewall and intrusion detection or prevention protocols, operating system to virtualization techniques, MSQL, or other related database platforms. And on top of that, they understand identity and access management principles. Data analyst. A data analyst is an individual whose responsibility is to gather and interpret data in order to solve a specific problem. What do they actually do? So they create and maintain documentation regarding data models, measures, and infrastructure as they're developed. They also identify, analyze, and understand trends and patterns in complex data sets. They create visualization and present meaningful insights to stakeholders based on the data analysis they have done. They basically convert raw data into meaningful insights. On top of that, they also develop and implement databases and data collection systems. The skills that a data analyst needs to know are a solid understanding of math and stats. They also need to understand basic programming languages like Python, R, and be able to use MATLAB. They also need to understand database warehousing, softwares like Hive, Spark. They also need to understand database query languages like SQL, need to have familiarity and be able to use Excel. They should be able to create visualizations using Tableau or Power BI and basic machine learning knowledge. Number four, data scientist. A data scientist is an analytical expert who understands and uses big data and data to solve critical and complex problems for an organization. So what do they actually do? They create algorithms and data models to forecast outcomes. They find patterns and trends in data sets to uncover insights. Furthermore, they use machine learning techniques to improve the quality of data or product offering. They collect and understand large sets of structured and unstructured data sets from various data sources. Also, they create understanding and meaning of data to solve problems. The skill set a data scientist needs to have is knowledge of various programming languages like Python, Perl, SQL, and Java. They also need to be able to understand and use Hadoop, Spark, Hive, Pig, and R. They also need to understand the concepts of machine learning. They also need to use tools like Tableau, Power BI, and Excel. And basic understanding of stats, probability, and math is very important, along with the ability to collect, analyze, and understand data. Number five, DevOps engineer. A DevOps engineer is responsible for the smooth operation of a company's IT infrastructure. So basically, what do they do is that they strive for continuous improvement and build integration, development, and deployment pipelines, CI/CD pipelines. They also identify and deploy cybersecurity measures by performing risk management. They also troubleshoot techniques and perform the necessary health checks on the infrastructure. And the most important, they implement various development, testing, automation tools for the IT infrastructure. The skills that you need to have as a DevOps engineer are good understanding of coding and scripting with common languages such as Python, Java, the ability to identify, assess, and integrate various open source technologies and cloud services, strong IT hardware and operations background with hands-on expertise in servers, storage, network, device installation, provisioning, and monitoring, experience with public cloud resources and services such as AWS, Azure, Cloud. Number six, full stack developer. A full stack developer creates and manages both front and backend systems and everything in between. What do they actually do? So basically, they design user interfaces with front-end code. Their job is to create, build, test user interfaces. They also create and maintain databases and servers, as well as do the backend processing for their software, and they test and debug both the front-end, backend, and databases. The skills you need to have as a full-stack developer are basic understanding of front-end frameworks like Bootstrap, React, Angular, along with various coding languages, which include HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, Ruby, Python. You should also be familiar with version control systems like Git, GitHub, be able to understand Agile, Scrum, and how software is built. Number seven, mobile application developer. A mobile application developer is a person who creates software for phones and tablets. So what does a mobile application developer do? They ensure the best performance and user experience for the mobile applications that they build. They also fix any bugs and related issues with their mobile applications. They operate both as a front-end and back-end developers to ensure the highest quality solution for the app. Furthermore, they develop new features, test, and improve mobile apps. The skill set a mobile application developer needs to have is mobile user interface design, the ability to understand what design from color structure works for the end user. Furthermore, they need to understand cross-platform app development for various systems, Android, iPhone, Windows phones. They also need to understand backend computing really well, which involves security, database management, hardware interaction, and implementation of various algorithms. Number 8, product manager. A product manager is the person who identifies the customer need and the larger business goals, which a product or a feature should fulfill. Then they work with various cross-functional teams to ensure that the product is successfully built and given to the end user. What does a product manager do? A product manager is the person who identifies the customer need by doing market research. They're the ones who listen to the customer and find ways to understand the pain points of the customer. Then they link the business needs with the customer needs and create strategy and product designs based on the customer and the business. After that, they work with different business teams to create the business product. And they work with technology teams like design, development, testing, data, infrastructure to ensure that all of the technology delivery is complete. But the end goal is for them to deliver the product to the end user and make the product. Skills that a product manager needs to have: critical thinking, leadership skills, problem solving, time management, communication, agile, scrum, A/B testing, market research, MVP, roadmap building, product execution. Number 9, software architect. A software architect is a professional who is responsible for creating and designing architecture for software applications and systems. So what does a software architect do? Basically, they create and design software architecture based on the system and applications. They also support the team to design and build the application that has been architected. Also, they ensure the software meets all requirements of quality, security, and other required categories. What skills does a software architect need to have? They need to have great communication skills, along with the ability to design and implement software architecture for various systems. They also need to have excellent knowledge of software application design, architecture, and implementation, along with the ability to architect using cloud, database design, DevOps, and many other technologies and principles for a successful system, application, or platform. Number 10, software tester. A software tester is responsible for testing software for quality or defects that could negatively impact performance or software functions. What does a software tester do? They review software requirements and create test scenarios. They test the software based on cases and other quality checks. They use automated testing tools and scripts to improve testing efficiency. They document and report issues and bugs to the development team. They ensure overall quality of the software. Skills that a software tester needs to have: they need to have the ability to do testing. They need to be able to develop, update, and execute automated test scripts. They also need to have knowledge and hands-on experience of test management tools and other defect tracking tools like Jira. Number 11, tech business analyst. Tech business analyst bridges the gap between business and technical teams by focusing on analysis, implementation, and delivery of software solutions and various deliverables. What does a tech business analyst do? They identify, analyze, and document business and user requirements, especially within the technology domain. They organize and facilitate meetings with business unit and IT management. They have the ability to understand the business domain, its processes, systems, and data. They ensure test cases are aligned with requirements by assisting the testing team in preparing the testing strategy and testing execution plan. Basically, they actively contribute to all phases of the project lifecycle and work with a variety of parties to ensure that all of the business requirements are understood, documented, and met, along with all of the other technical and data-related requirements. Skills that a tech business analyst has: communication skills, critical thinking, creating material, and writing technical documentation with clarity and effectiveness, requirements gathering, ability to create workflows, data modeling, also the ability to create test cases and test plans, understanding usage of software development methods like Agile and Scrum, experience in data analysis. Number 12, tech project manager. Tech project managers manage technical projects in all phases and manage timelines, budgets, and scope. So what does a tech project manager do? They manage the implementation of technical projects during all phases. They identify, manage, and raise issues, dependencies, changes, and risks related to product development. and technical delivery. They develop and monitor project plans, remediate risks, and close gaps and any dependencies. They coordinate the efforts of cross-functional teams to meet deadlines for projects to ensure high-quality features and products are being built, tested, and released on time. The skills that a technical project manager needs to have are organization, critical thinking, communication, the ability to track and monitor the progress of the project and individual tasks, project scheduling and budgeting, managing the project lifecycle and all issues, risks, agile and scrum management. Number 13, tech recruiter. A tech recruiter is a person who's responsible for sourcing and hiring IT professionals to fill technical positions. What does a tech recruiter do? They create job descriptions and post them on relevant platforms. They identify future job openings and requirements for those positions with hiring managers. They determine whether applicants are qualified for the job by screening them. They interview candidates, perform background checks, present the resumes of the most suitable candidates to the hiring manager, and work with the hiring managers to find the best fit. They also make sure all applicants are kept up to date and all positions are filled. The skills that are required to become a tech recruiter are Microsoft Suite, knowledge of the technical industry, customer relationship management software experience, and ability to perform recruitment duties. Number 14, tech writer. Tech writers write company documents such as manuals, reference guides, white papers, product descriptions, and other kinds of technical documents. What does a tech writer do? They research technical information regarding operations and projects. They plan the development of technical documents according to the needs of the project. They develop and edit the required documentation, and they enhance the documentation based on stakeholders' feedback. Skills required to become a tech writer are communication writing, editing, presentation, research, technical domain knowledge. Number 15, UI/UX designer. User interface stands for UI and user experience stands for UX. User interface and user experience designer focuses on the interaction between real human users and technical products. UI designer focuses on the application's interface and users' interaction with the front end. But the UX designer focuses on the user's overall experience with the brand, product, and service. Depending on the company and the role, UI/UX designers can be separated or combined. What does a UI/UX designer do? They create user-friendly interfaces that enable users to have a positive experience with technical products. They conduct user research by collecting useful data, which is analyzed and converted into meaningful insight. They design user flows and wireframes for MVPs and final products. They gather and implement feedback from users to improve the UI and UX. The following skills are required: UX writing skills, psychology skills to understand user experience, ability to create prototype wireframes, user flows and mockups, ability to use and learn design softwares and create visual designs, ability to do user research and testing. Hope you found the video helpful. We would love to hear what career interests you the most in the comments below. Please subscribe and like to help us continue to provide helpful content for you on your tech career journey. Thank you so much for watching.